Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At AnyMac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future home buyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of home ownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.any-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@any-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. AnyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC. DBA AnyMac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent. License lender. Broker number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License number MC 338923. Rhode Island License Lender. License number 201128110L. Call for additional details.
Go. Elon Musk, Tiger Woods, Putin, Disney and guns, Twitter, golf war, stupidity, daughters and sons. Musk bought 10%, and we are all waiting to see what he will do to Twitter. What are his plans to be? He has not been happy with Twitter in recent past. Will Trump be allowed back? Will his ban last? A small break from politics, and there is no better reason. The man returns for hopefully a winning season. Tiger Woods is playing. The greatest is a mystery. Could he pull off another W to lock his place in history? Who's the GOAT, Tiger or Jack? It's a great conversation and a head scratcher for sure. But who cares? It's not politics. And that is something we all could use more. Putin's war rages on, but Kyiv will still stand. Putin is losing his mind, and it's not going as planned. Were the seaports truly his only goal? Then why cause the death and destruction up north? Or does he just not have a soul? Or crimes are coming to light, and they are seen on the news. Russia crossed every line, every rule, and all taboos. Disney has lost their minds, and I can't imagine why. The bill doesn't say gay, not once, but yet they cry. Read the bill before you look stupid. Sorry for being direct. K through 3, ages 5 through 8. If you talk to them about sex, you just might be suspect. Teenagers in Philly are dead, and Biden speaks of rules, but not the blood that's been spilling. Worry about the legal guns, Uncle Joe. You know, the ones doing all the killing. I agree we need more laws to protect from illegal guns. But the new laws don't do a thing about the current ones. I'll wrap this up with a simple shot. Come November, the red wave arrives, and we need that a lot. Welcome to Divided We Stand. I am Jim Battisti, and as always, that is Joe Aguirre. This is where we talk about politics in a very factual and down-to-earth manner. Tonight, I want to introduce tonight's guest, Mike Arisco. He works for a small family-owned business, his family actually. He's a political science graduate and also a CSB graduate as well. How you doing, Mike?
Good. I want to give you a round of applause for that poem. That was legendary. Maybe we could do The Night Before Christmas next week. I could see you doing that.
I will definitely try. Come Christmas time, I will. Now, Mike, the first thing I really want to talk to you about is Elon Musk. And now this was a big old shocker for everybody. I mean, he did put out there that he wanted to create a competing company, I believe. But
he did.
Yeah, and it turns out he just said, "No, I'm just going to buy Twitter." So, what do you think about all that? Do you think?
Well, I'm going to correct you because you said he bought 10%. He actually bought 9%. So
it was 9.7. Big money difference there.
I believe it was 9.2. But yeah, so Elon, he bought 9% of Twitter. At as you said, he's been one of their most prominent critics. And like you said as well, before that, he'd given serious thought to developing a competing platform. And he said about Twitter recently that they serve as the de facto public town square, but fail to adhere to free speech principles, which fundamentally undermines democracy. Honestly, I think it's going to be interesting to see what he does now that he's on the board. He is a board member. And I think it's a smart move for Twitter. Number one, they don't have to worry about him developing a competing app. And they get literally the most popular man in the world as part of their team now. This is a guy that's larger than life. He's the most popular man on the internet. He has 4 times more followers than the president of the United States. Like, that's insane, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But honestly, I don't know how much Twitter actually cares about free speech or putting accurate information out there. They're a publicly traded company. They care about revenue. Their stock jumped 25% on Monday with this news. So, as much as they put out there that they're, they don't want to put in misinformation out on the internet, and, they want to give people an accurate portrayal of what's going on in the world. I honestly think that they care about their bottom line more than anything.
Capitalism is always going to win in the end.
Yeah, it's a good move for them. And for Elon, I mean, he's protecting himself with this, right? Like, he's not going to be, he's not going to be censored by Twitter or banned by Twitter in the future. He's an owner. I read this online yesterday that, if Trump was rich enough to do this, he would have done it himself.
Probably, more than likely. But before we go on, I want to tell everybody who's listening that 9% is the majority of shares. That was so he is the majority shareholder as of the other day, right?
He has more shares than any individual.
Correct.
Why is it that this idiot Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, why do they have to get involved in everything? And here's a stock tip. Here's a little investment tip for the future. If tomorrow Elon Musk says something bad about a company and it causes their stock to dip a little bit, you could bet he's investing in, and he's doing that on purpose.
He's probably going to want to buy that.
Have you noticed how often Elon Musk does that? He'll talk poorly about something, and next thing you know, he's like in on it. Give me a break, dude.
It's happened.
Guy's like the ultimate scumbag
or businessman.
No, he's a scumbag. I mean, Twitter's already dead anyway, so
Is
whatever.
it worse than politicians being able to buy and sell stocks? Because I don't think that should be happening.
Of course that shouldn't.
What do you
be
feel
happening.
about? How do you feel about that, Joe?
I think that's terrible. I think that's why what was the one in Georgia? Kelly Loeffler. That's why. I mean, that pretty much set to seal the deal for her. But that of course they shouldn't be doing that.
Right. I mean,
everybody should also have their companies in blind trusts. I mean, but they constantly break the law, and as long as we continue to send back the same incumbents over and over again, you're just going to embolden them to continue to do whatever they want. Because they're not there for us, that's for sure. And it's beyond pathetic. And it's sad that for space exploration and communication and entertainment, it's all whatever Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg want. And it's like, these two, you're not rich enough. Can you just go away? Just go away.
I think a lot of people feel that way, right?
I do. I'm not big on the cult of personalities, I'm not a big fan.
I thought this was interesting. It's in some this multiple outlets have reported this, that a lot of Twitter employees are sort of panicking because of this, right? With Elon now on the board, employees are saying that his views on moderation could weaken years-long efforts to make Twitter a place of healthy discourse and might allow trolling and mob attacks to flourish. Some employees are even saying that they're planning to leave the company over this. They're dusting off their resumes. They're looking to go elsewhere. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with all of that and what comes out of that.
I think it's going to be great. I am excited to see what Elon Musk does with Twitter.
You're like, get rid of all the employees. Let him run the show. That's what you think, right?
Well, you know what? Yes and no. Yes and no. Like, I don't want to see I never want to see anybody lose their job ever, right? But this is a country where
what about Joe Biden?
I don't want to see him lose his job. I want to see him voted out. I don't want to see him get fired. I don't want to see, anything stupid political like that. I want to see him get voted out like this country was meant to do, right? I want the process to work. But when it comes to Twitter employees or Facebook employees or Disney employees, if you don't want to work there, if you don't agree with the policies, then quit. Nobody's forcing you to stay there. Don't threaten me that you're going to walk out, especially Disney. You know how many people want to work for Disney? Do you have any idea how many applications a day they get? Quit. I don't care. Go away. Your voice is not needed.
I agree with that. But and this whole thing about conservatives, they're all coming out of the woodwork and they're so happy. They're like, this is going to change everything. Trump's going to be back. Like, I think that's a little bit of false hope. They're so optimistic. But I think at least in the short term, that's pretty unlikely. Like we can talk about the Trump ban. It's a smart move, like I said, for Elon to get into this, to be able to protect himself from censorship or getting banned. But if you think about it, like, why would Elon Musk push to bring Trump back on Twitter right now? He's a board member. He's got 9% stake. He's not controlling anything. He's got a board, multiple board members to deal with, right? He's got the CEO, Parag Agrawal, who has been pretty enthusiastic, at least on Twitter, about him joining the team. But Elon's not just going to come in. And why would he say that? He's not. I guarantee a bunch of Trump supporters, a large number of Trump supporters, probably think that Elon likes Trump. We don't have any evidence of that.
That is correct.
Elon Musk supported Andrew Yang in the 2020 race, right? Why would he push to unban
right. You're
Trump
100% right. I don't think he's going to push.
Absolutely no sense. So I don't think that that's happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think that you need to look down the road. It all depends on how the 2024 campaign shakes out, right? If Trump reemerges as a legitimate contender for the race, then that's the point where I think the Twitter board has to have a tough conversation and say, do we let this guy back in because he's back in the world?
So before we go any further on that, I just want to welcome another guest of ours that we haven't seen in a couple of weeks. Is she on? Can we see her? Victoria
Loaded
Lane?
up tonight. I love it.
Can you hear me right now? Yes, I'm driving. I'm in
motion.
motion.
I can hear you.
Facebook, do not like if it's $3 million laying around and not tied up in stocks like y'all all say, then how come he can't pay taxes? I don't understand. If it costs $3 million for this Twitter investment, how come now he cannot pay taxes? That's my only question.
Anybody want to
Nobody's got any.
So wait. What are we saying? You were breaking up in the beginning. Elon Musk doesn't pay taxes? Is that what you're saying?
Barely. And everybody bitches and moans about billionaires having to pay taxes. So when I saw that he's got the chunk of money for basically a meme, then I just, like, why can't he pay taxes? That $3 million could have gone somewhere else, correct? That's all I think about. it.
So CNN reported that Elon Musk last year paid $11 billion in taxes.
Yeah. I'm looking at
That's
that
with
right
a
now.
B.
I'm absolutely cutting out and I can't hear anything, but I just wanted to bring up that. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
All right. So go ahead.
Yes. Listen, he does pay taxes. He pays a lot in taxes. But again, just because he pays a lot of money in taxes doesn't mean he gets to run the town square.
And I don't think he will be.
Tried to explain it. Well, again, as the majority share owner, even at 9%, I mean, that's the guy that's going to have the loudest voice. Also, he's Elon Musk, and there's a lot of, as you were saying before, a lot of people follow this guy.
He has very strong opinions on the First Amendment, on Twitter, and how they and their banning practices and their gatekeepers, I should call them. That's what you're 100% right, Mike, when he's never come out and said, we want Donald Trump back on Twitter, right? He hasn't supported Donald Trump publicly. You're 100% right, but he has come out against Twitter and their practice of.
Elon Musk is the kind of guy where he hedges his bets. He's like, Joe Biden wins, I'm going to go this route. If Trump, he had a Trump plan. And
I like this here coming in through the chat. Elon Musk wants Trump to be president so he can secure the Space Force contracts.
Someone's going to have to run Space Force because we know how serious Trump is about that and the intergalactic wars to come in the future. Jimmy, we want to be number one. We want to be number one in the intergalactic space wars. I think if we win Intergalactic Space War 1 in like 2037, I think we're on our way to dominate the Milky Way.
I think we got enough problems controlling what's going on planet Earth.
I'd like us to shoot Putin to the moon. I think that would be a really cool plan.
If you guys don't believe that there are nuclear weapons in space right now pointing down somewhere, then you're a little naive.
Who do you think
is that some
who's got nuclear weapons
information that you're spilling right now?
No, I'm not spilling any confidential information. But
you probably have to say that.
But technology has come a long way. And there's reasons why people abandon the space program, and there's reasons why other countries didn't. And they pushed hard with it. It's to weaponize it. All these other countries, I mean, we do it too. Let's face it. The United States does it too. Any type of avenue that we can take to weaponize something, we do. We spend more. We spend more on defense spending than the next 27 countries combined. 20 of them are our allies, by the way, just so that everybody knows.
Where's Russia on that list? Because clearly whatever they're spending is not enough.
Oh my God, they
should pay better or something. Jeez.
They're heavily invested in the space program. They're extremely
Intergalactic Space War 1.
They're extremely invested in the space program, and I can't imagine why. I can't imagine why somebody would do that if it's not to weaponize it, especially the superpower countries. This is all we do. We weaponize everything so we can protect ourselves. I mean, come on.
Russia's fourth in military spending.
That's it?
Yeah. Just behind India, China's second, and the U.S. is way above everyone else. It's $778 billion.
Yep. So, like I said, other countries have not invested in their ground military for reasons, but yet still have a very, very, very strong space program. Now, China has done both. China has developed the largest navy in the world. They have also developed the largest space program in the world. So, but I think we need to get back to Twitter and Elon Musk. And I don't even know what the tweet. This is how much I don't go on Twitter or even read Donald Trump's tweets. I never read them. I didn't care for them. Never. What tweet got him banned? Like, I don't even know.
So I I looked this up. It was on January 8th, 2021. So that's 2 days after the insurrection at the Capitol. The specific tweet that was, I guess, the last straw for Twitter was, quote, "The 75 million great American patriots who voted for me, America first and make America great again, will have a giant voice long into the future. They will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form." Shortly after, he tweeted, "To all of those who asked, I will not be going to the inauguration on January 20th. So essentially, it was due to the ongoing tensions, the riot on January 6th at the Capitol, the uptick in the global conversation in regards to that. Those two tweets, read in the broader context of the events happening in the country, were what led to the ban. And the specific policy that Twitter cited that they got him for was the glorification of violence policy. So essentially glorifying any violent acts that could inspire others to take part in similar acts of violence. Under this policy, you cannot celebrate, praise, or condone violent crimes, etc. So basically, you can't, if somebody commits a crime, you can't go on Twitter and say, "I'm glad this happened. This person is my hero." Those are phrases that are on Twitter's website. That is specifically what they cited as the reason for him getting banned over those two tweets.
You know who's never gone on Twitter to celebrate or condone violence? The Ayatollah from Iran. That's why he's still on Twitter. And I know that gets Jimmy's goat every time, but that guy knows and has enough sense and has never been warned even by Twitter. He knows how to stay out of Twitter jail. Come on.
So, and I'm not making this about Donald Trump. I don't really care. I truly, truly don't.
Hold on. Twitter and not be about Donald Trump.
No, I absolutely can. This is why I'm talking about it, right? So this is the problem that Elon Musk has. He does not like the fact that Twitter, whoever it is, right? Whoever is the gatekeepers, I don't know, the algorithms or whatever the hell it is, he does not support the fact that they can shut people down and ban people for a lot of different reasons, right? And that's the point I'm trying to make. Like that tweet by Donald Trump.
But where do you draw that? So would you think that anyone should be able to be banned from Twitter?
No.
And then what constitutes, what is the criteria that would constitute a ban? You don't know.
Bans. I don't. I wouldn't call for
You think
bans.
Everybody should be on Twitter being able to say whatever they want?
Yeah. I do. I really do. I mean, if you want to be, because you know what? It's just like anything else. If you don't want to read it, don't read it. If you don't want to follow that person, don't follow that person. If you don't like what's on there, don't go on Twitter. So, I mean, I've been pretty consistent about this.
Yeah, but what happens to people who are promoting violence? I mean, there's been a lot of violence against Asian people.
There's
for
laws
instance.
Against that.
No,
So
I understand that. I understand that there's
laws.
laws. I understand there's laws, and the people that assault those people are going to have to face charges. But if people are on Twitter or Facebook and they're like, tomorrow's punch an Asian in the face day, or push one on the train, which we've seen a lot of. You know, we talked about this. There's been a lot of violence against Asian people. Where does that come from? It comes from the misinformation about Corona starting in a lab in Wuhan, and that this is like a Chinese espionage thing. So anybody who's Asian, of course, because racists are stupid, is Chinese, right? And so the more those people are on Twitter revving people up to commit those acts, you think that's okay? I know you don't.
Why don't you go after and arrest the guy who incited the violence for incitement, which is an actual crime?
Well, what happens when that guy is Donald Trump? Then what do we do? Arrest Donald Trump, the president?
I have never heard him call for violence on a tweet.
That's what literally got him thrown off of Twitter.
Read the tweet again, Mike.
I mean, I understand what both of you guys are saying, but this is a guy that has such a strong following, and if somebody is, even if he hints at it, right?
Read the tweet.
Like that, people will be up in arms.
Mike
it
also
never called for violence.
Mike, here's the thing, though. Everybody
it's not
in
even,
the White House.
The policy is not about calling for violence. It's about approving violence. Any approval of violence is against the policy that Twitter put forth. You can have a problem with that policy.
So nobody.
My view on it is
that
that
boxer. Nope.
My view on it
is that violence.
He was in the White House watching it on TV, rewinding the violence and enjoying it and stoking the flames. Was asked repeatedly by all sorts of people, both at Fox News and on his staff and in his family, to say something, and he didn't. And so when he finally said something a couple of days later, that's what he came up with. Bye.
I know, because it called for violence, right? It called for them to do it again. He called for them to do it on January 6th, 2 days after the fact.
No, he was defending it. He was defending it, which you've done plenty of times.
That's fine. Whatever.
Meanwhile, this was on the
direction.
However, this is my point, right? This is the overall point. This is what I think. I could be wrong. I very well could be wrong here, but this is what I think makes the Elon Musk story more interesting, because he could change that, and he does have the clout and the power now to change something like that.
You mean to bring Trump back?
No, to change the policy.
That's fair. Honestly, whatever Twitter wants to make their policy, that's fine. It's a company it's a publicly traded company. It's not affiliated with the government.
Right, but he's buying
whatever they want to do. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? If you want to use Twitter, you abide by their rules, right?
Elon Musk is buying it to change the rules.
You mean like every friggin' election?
What?
You mean like every election? You know how much money they pump into advertising and all that for elections? It's essentially bought. I mean, how much money is spent on a presidential election? How much money is spent? How much money did Stacey Abrams spend on the election? I don't know. I'm asking. This is no different. If you got the money.
Well, we live in a state.
If you got the money.
We live in a state where in 2018, two guys, no experience in politics, both very wealthy, bought the nomination in each of their parties, and that was the choice we had for governor of Connecticut.
Right.
That's my point, Joe.
That's poor. That's a real problem.
I don't like that either.
But see, when you have money, or when there's that dark money, again, dude, there is a constant battle back and forth between the haves. That's what I think people are missing out on here.
And the guy who lost here is running again because he lost, and he's got so much money that he's footing another campaign. Like, what are we doing? Like,
well, look,
how is it different?
He's no
this
Grover
time?
Cleveland Alexander, I'll tell you that. But this is pretty serious, the January 6th thing, and Jimmy tends to ignore this because he thinks it was, what do you guys call it? Like rational political discourse or something nonsense like that.
Really? I called it a riot. Is what I call it.
It was worse than a riot. And here's the worst part, because listen, never mind I'm not even talking about your buddies, the Proud Boys, and all those guys who planned the violent part. I'm not even worried about them right now, Jimmy. Steve Bannon has gone on the record as saying that they had a plan in place called the Green Bay Sweep, which was going to allow Mike Pence, as president of the Senate, to reject the electors from the states Trump wanted to win. They had already chosen and had on hand the electors who were going to replace them as Donald Trump stole the presidency of the United States. Mike Pence went to one of his best friends, who's a constitutional attorney, told him what the plan was, and the guy was like, Steve Bannon's insane. There's no legal recourse whatsoever for that. And so when Mike Pence decided not to do that, that's when they unleashed the dogs, Jimmy. So your little riot was part of a bigger plan to try to legally overthrow the government, even though they knew. You'll see, this thing's going to play out, and this is not going to end well. It's going to be just another really ugly black eye for the Republican Party.
As far as Trump on Twitter, the insurrection and these two tweets that we just read are on the heels of him spouting off day after day about how he unfairly lost the election, that he actually won the election, and that everyone will soon didn't see that.
You guys might want to rally around Ron DeSantis sooner than later. Just get on your DeSantis train now.
I mean, is he the guy? Who's the guy?
He's the guy. He's Trump. He's like 30 years younger, and he's short memories.
Just like Mike has a short memory as well, right? Like Mike has a short memory. When Trump won, he was called the illegitimate president for his entire presidency. When Stacey Abrams lost, she was called a legitimate governor.
I don't agree with that. I mean,
for years.
Where did you hear that?
Well, she called herself that.
I've never. I will 100% say
and the
Stacey
news said
Abrams
it was stolen,
never said
right?
that.
It was stolen from her, right? But
Hillary Clinton didn't say that though.
What? That Donald Trump was the illegitimate president?
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton said that every freaking day, Mike. Every day.
She took the fact that she lost, right?
Called him an illegitimate president. Went on the news. I got video. I can pull it up. Illegitimate president. Way? He knows he stole the election. He knows that Russia helped him win the election. He's an illegitimate president. But we forget about that and we forgive her. When Trump does it, it's the worst thing in the world, right? It's the end all be all. Oh my God, the end of the freaking world. This is the double standard. I'm not saying I approve of it. I'm not, Mike. I'm not saying that at all. I don't approve of it. I don't agree with it. I think it was stupid for him to say. He could have thought it all he wanted. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is stop with the friggin' double standards. Everybody needs to stop with the stupid double standards. If we did that, we could all sit down and have better conversations. We could all sit down and be getting somewhere ahead. But when you have these double standards, it doesn't work. There's no progress. So it's okay for the Democrat Party to do it for Trump's entire presidency. But Trump to do it for a month is just the worst thing in the world. Well, he's still doing it. I'm not saying that he's not. He's still continuing to say this shit because he's an idiot. But
real quick, can I tell you what Stacey Abrams said and what she was alluding to? 668,000 registrations were canceled in 2017. 53,000 voter registrations were put on hold for additional screening just before the election. Guess what those voters were? Black. So
what
a lot of people were not able to vote in that election. That's why she makes the claim that she could have won that election.
You are right. Hillary did say that multiple times that he's an illegitimate president, basically accusing him of voter suppression, voter purging, hacking, misinformation, etc. Just want to clear that up.
Thank you. Sorry,
she did concede the election, though. She did concede
exactly.
The election.
That's the point that I was getting at.
Yes, she did observe the proper transfer of power.
Years? And then said what for the
and
next
then undermine Trump for the next 3 years. You're absolutely correct, and that's why Hillary Clinton was not considered this time around, and why she won't be in the future. Hillary Clinton's done. Hillary Clinton's now like Obama. She's in academia. She's out there talking, and if I won, like she's O.J. Simpson, if I did it, nobody cares.
I mean,
nobody cares. You didn't do it.
$300K for a speech. That's
great. As long as she stops running for office, I don't care where Hillary Clinton goes or what she does. I really don't.
I really going to stop this segment right now because I really want to talk about Tiger Woods. All right. I'm a huge Tiger Woods fan. He's the main reason why I started to play golf. I'll tell you that story another time. But it was a time when I was in Iraq and Tiger Woods won the Players Championship, and I lost my friggin' mind. But anyways, he's playing. He's really. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I heard the other day that he might play, but he is actually friggin' playing, and he's 1 under after today. Is he the GOAT? I don't know. This is a real hard one. This is probably a tougher discussion than is Tom Brady the GOAT. I mean, I think that's an easier one. Like,
definitely easier.
Is Tiger Woods or is Jack? Which one is better? Like,
I'm going to say
Jack's got three more major championships. He's at 18. Tiger's at 15.
Correct.
No car crashes, no Hooters waitresses.
Tiger has 82 PG or Tour wins. Jack has 73.
2 car crashes, a bad knee.
Yeah, and still won 82 PGA Tour championships.
Yeah, again, I'm
not going to knock him for any of that, for the lifestyle.
No,
holds the record for the lowest scoring round.
I think
in
you
a
have to
year.
a little bit. Jack never had any scandals like that and never missed any playing time and didn't come back and miss cuts and otherwise look like trash for a couple of years. That never happened. So it's hard to say that's a GOAT when you look at Tom Brady, who for 20 and coming back for more, it's not even close. That's what a GOAT looks like.
So we were talking about this last week, right? Are we going to talk about his playing performance, or are we going to talk about everything else?
But it's connected because it affected his playing career. Mickey Mantle might be the greatest baseball player of all time if he hadn't dove and tore his knee up on the sprinkler system at Yankee Stadium. Well, he's not the GOAT. His career, you grew up watching Don Mattingly like I did, hurt his back, dude. He was the best player in baseball for 5 years. How do you remember his career? He's not even in the Hall of Fame, nor will he ever be.
If we're talking pure wins, that's just talk wins. That's just talk wins. Tiger's got more wins.
He comes up short. He comes up short on the majors.
He's got 3 less majors, but has 9 more tour wins. Holds the lowest
Jack also
scoring.
was playing with inferior clubs.
It was even. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
No titanium.
The playing fields were still even so I understand what you're saying. I do. And I really, that argument to me falls a little flat because it's not like Jack was playing with his woods and somebody else was there playing with titaniums. Like everybody that was playing in Jack's time had the same equipment.
Can you imagine though,
everybody who's playing at Tiger Woods' time had the
pound
same
for
equipment.
pound, bro, pound for pound, if he had access to the weapons that Tiger Woods uses,
I don't know.
Imagine if he played with titanium and he would have won every single major. Probably, he's an amazing golfer. And again, his dedication for the game and his focus is what makes him the GOAT.
Tiger holds the lowest scoring average for a single year. It's a record. It hasn't been beat. He was the youngest player to win a Grand Slam.
Shohei Ohtani had an amazing season last year. Some compared it to Babe Ruth. And I thought, well, also Babe Ruth did that for like 8 years. Then he went and became the greatest just hitter of all time. I don't know that it's fair to take one season and hold that up and say, well, he did that. He had a great year. Big deal. Do it every year. That's
Tiger has had a very, very long
what I do every day
career.
I just think it's amazing that Tiger Woods, as a black man, walked into literally the whitest sport on earth and just dominated.
And he did it while Eminem took over rap music. It was
there you go.
Hilarious for the nation.
I would like to add that he's half Asian. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're making me think of the Chappelle show.
Oh my God, we could talk about that for 3 hours, man. What episode? Where you want to go with this one?
The race draft, dude, with the Wu-Tang. Come on,
yeah,
that's great.
So
I love Tiger Woods. I don't mean to talk him down. I'm just saying, I think when you hold him up and you're like, who's the GOAT? Just because of look, the success he had early on, and if it wasn't for that stretch of time where we didn't know if he was going to play again for a while, I don't know. That never happened with Jack. He just had an amazing career, and I just think it's but you guys smidge better than Tiger.
You still forget when he had that stretch of time where every other player in the world was saying, "Yeah, everybody's playing for second."
Like, when he wins a title in his 50s or 60s, we'll talk about what the GOAT looks like.
Deal.
Here's the thing, right? I think in MMA, I think Kamaru Usman probably will be the greatest welterweight of all time.
Really?
Yeah. I think if the next 4 years of his career continue to go I think he will be. You can't say he is now. It's hard to judge
that's
somebody.
Your prediction, though.
I'm just saying, but it's hard to. He's the record's there, dude. I mean, the title defenses are there. He's done the work. dude, he can go out and lose his next 3. That's going to change my mind. So it's hard when you're actually watching somebody that you consider the GOAT. Tom Brady's just been so head and shoulders above all the greats like Montana and Bradshaw that it's easy to be like, well, yeah, he outdid the 2 guys we thought were the 2 best. That's an easy one, and he's still doing it at an incredibly high level for a guy of his age. It doesn't even make sense. That's what GOAT is.
I could talk about Tom Brady and the NFL making rules just for Tom Brady for another whole episode. But anyways,
Jimmy, I just mean to say, can Tiger become the GOAT? I think he still has time. If he continues to play, he's got to win another championship or 2.
It's unlikely that he wins another major at this point, though.
Doesn't even need to pass the record. If he gets within 1 or he ties it, but he's got to win another one.
Yeah,
he's got to win another one as an adult, and then I'll give it to you.
All right. We got that was a great break from politics, but this is Divided We Stand, and we're gonna have to get right back into it. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and skip over the war in Ukraine because, quite frankly, it's really starting to depress me. I had a video prepared. I'm not going to show it just because it literally depresses me. So I'm going to go ahead and skip over that. And we're going to go right into Don't Say Gay. Why, Joe? Why is that called that bill? I believe MSNBC was the first. It was either MSNBC or NPR was the first people to call it Don't Say Gay. So why would they tagline it? Why would they hashtag it? Why would they do that when it doesn't even say the word gay in it? Like, do they not read it? They just oppose everything, right?
So, listen,
from a Republican state.
I'll address a few things because even in your poem off the top, you sort of alluded to people who question this or suspect. I guess there's this new. Again, the obsession with right-wing people on child pedophilia frightens me. I don't know what the weirdo obsession with that stuff is. I really don't. Here's what people need to understand. Telling children in K through 3 that a homosexual, that like your friend could have 2 moms or 2 dads, they're not talking about the sex part. They're not like, then the dad goes home and they're not teaching kids that. And you guys seem so obsessed with the thought of they're talking about anal man sex. No, calm it down. But when a kid's like, hey, why does that dude have 2 moms? That's weird. It's like, no, we just want kids to know it's a thing. So that's the outrage on the left. And again, the right to the pedophilia, every time, like clockwork.
Well,
it's disturbing.
I think there's a legitimate argument.
And it seems like a weird deflection is all it seems like to me.
I don't understand.
This has been going on. This has been going on for about 20 years. Obsessed with that stuff.
Hold on. I don't think it says pedophilia in it either.
I think there's a legitimate argument that says
I've already seen the talking point on the right, Jimmy. It's this new thing about people who want to teach kids about homosexuality, which again isn't what anybody's saying. Again, as soon as you start talking this stuff, right wingers start thinking, they start thinking of the dirty, and I don't understand that. No one's trying to make kids gay. I didn't know what a homosexual was until I was 14. And when I was 14, I still didn't think about the sexual component of it.
The bill only states that parents, that you should not, the school cannot talk about certain things.
Right.
Without letting, dude, what is wrong with this? Who's number one? I have an 8-year-old daughter. She's in 3rd grade. The very, 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 very last thing she talks to me about is sex. That's nowhere near her freaking mind whatsoever.
Again, we're not talking about sex. We're talking about people who are gay, though. But people who are gay,
being gay
know. Isn't about the sex part, and that's not what anybody's explaining to kids. So no, stop it.
But I think the argument is that the parents should be the ones to do that because it's part of parenting. It's not part of what you should learn in school.
Yeah, but Mike, in some houses, they're like, hey, Timmy's got 2 dads. That's gross. So
So
that's the problem with how some people are teaching stuff.
So we're going to allow somebody else to teach my kids? Screw that. No. Nope.
Making your kids aware of other people's realities because you can't or won't is a good thing.
My kids.
Well, you're getting a free education in the public school, so they have to make kids aware of what's going on.
It's not free.
It is.
So it's not, Joe.
This is only up to the third grade.
Free education. You're getting a free education. It's paid through a socialist program
that comes
called
from
the Education Department, where our property taxes.
Oh, okay. So my taxes. So it's not.
No,
free.
Not your taxes. Right? Our collective taxes. Socialism,
so
the thing you hate the most.
But I still pay.
It becomes free, Jimmy, because they give it to everybody.
So who pays? So I don't pay for it?
You don't pay for school, no.
Do they don't take the money from me?
Who does? The school? No, the city does.
Oh, so I still pay.
You still pay taxes.
Yeah, so it's not fucking free. Or it's not free and free. I'm sorry.
You're paying taxes. That's just that's the tax you owe on your property.
It goes to the school.
They allocate it where they want.
A portion of that money ends up in the school.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But we don't know that your money specifically went to the school. You may have contributed zero to the school. Maybe you just paid for the road.
Quit.
Maybe you just paid for the road. It's a free education. Right? Even the people in town, who don't pay taxes, their kids still go get the free education.
Nothing in this world is free. Nothing.
Well, no, that's why socialism is so great, because we can collectively pool our money
and everybody knows it, right? So
you love socialism.
I absolutely hate socialism. Hate it.
I've already explained to my 6-year-old that some men date men and some women date women, and the sex part never came up. I just explained some people are attracted to their same sex. Yeah, dude, it's weird. I don't understand
a parent can do that, right?
Right-wing people are very concerned that their kids are going to find out about the gay sex, and they can't handle it. And so, again, to deflect, you're a pedophile. No one's trying to teach your kid about anal sex with another guy. They're just not.
Just want to have control over what's,
Then they should get more involved, and they should teach their kids about this stuff before.
And you guys are bashing them. You guys are.
I'd be curious to know, what percentage,
they can't do anything without being called a freaking racist, bigot, homophobe. But then when they do get involved, they're racist, bigots, homophobes, right?
Somebody has to teach your kids right from wrong.
They need to get more involved. That's your double standards again. It's horse crap.
You guys are super into education when there's something that has to do with your religious liberties. Otherwise, zilch, nothing.
And where are the freaking...
A free education
that
you get access to through socialist programs that you hate so much. Where are the worst test
scores in the country? Where? Oh, all the Democrat-led cities. You're right. Okay, you're right. We don't care about education. Democrats.
What are all the Democratic-led cities?
Do awesome job with education.
Are you talking about poor urban areas like Detroit and Camden, New Jersey? Is that what you're talking about?
Desolate 40 years,
desolate places that have low property tax
and billions of dollars to fix, and they've done nothing except gotten worse. It's gotten worse. What did they give them the freaking billions of dollars for? It's gotten worse.
I don't think they've given them billions of dollars. The problem is, and we've talked about this, 11 of the 15 poorest counties in the entire country are in Mitch McConnell's home state of Kentucky. Mitch McConnell's state's gotten lots of money and lots of benefits over the years, and yet they remain dumb and poor and unhealthy.
Jimmy, what
do
you think?
And they keep on electing the Republicans there. When you keep any party in power for too long and you don't hold them accountable, that's what you're going to get.
Yep. I agree.
This isn't a Democrat-Republican thing. This is when people are too dumb.
No. It is, though.
To hold politicians accountable, because, listen, even in the most democratic liberal city, every now and again, you're going to have to pick the Republican just to keep the Democrats honest, and vice versa. You're going to have to do the same thing in those Republican hell towns. Dude, imagine if those people in Kentucky just one time, they're like, Democrats. That might get the Republican Party to start taking care of those people and to stop cutting all those budgets, which is why they're poor and uneducated.
I agree wholeheartedly. Incumbents need to go. Like I said, we need term limits. If you got 20 years in, gone, period. Absolutely 100% term limits. It's not too long. You need 20 years. You need it because you need to have that experience. You can't have these young. Look at Dan Crenshaw. and he's a Republican, and I'm calling him out. He's a very new Republican congressman. And you want somebody like Dan Crenshaw just circling in and out? No, you need a 20-year veteran.
Well,
right?
the veterans aren't teaching the youngins how to do things anymore. These people are showing up with agendas. I mean, Dan Crenshaw is as awful by your standards as AOC is.
That's why I used him as an example.
Well, yeah.
You know what?
I picked up what you were putting down. I picked that up. I understood.
It's coming through every freaking 2 years.
I don't want to. Well, again, we need to pick. We need to pick better people.
You need you need that experience, right? You need that kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? Kind of not. It begins with a C. Continuity. Thank you. You need that continuity for that period of time, right? 20 years is a great amount of time. It truly is. It's not too long. 15 years is when you really dig in when you really say you got some experience.
Yeah, and when you
that for the next 5.
when you start using your sway to hold up votes, Again, once you give these guys a little bit of clout, they use it against us.
They both do that, and you know that.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Don't call Mitch McConnell out on that. I mean, they both on both sides, and you're 100%
say Mitch McConnell. Right. I'm talking. I said everybody.
You did
literally
say everybody.
Said everybody. Everybody. I dislike McConnell as much as I dislike Schumer. I don't see them as being any different a person. They're there for the same reason. Wins for the party. It's got nothing to do with their constituents. It's got nothing to do with their home states. They really couldn't care less.
You're 100% right. 100%. And how long?
Dude, some of these guys don't even show up in their states to campaign.
Oh, by the way, I just Googled it, and Chicago received $2.8 billion this school year with a B. And 75% of their high school seniors read at a 3rd grade level.
Oh, wow. That sounds like an improvement. Up to 3rd grade. That's good. They must have bought some books.
For $2.8 billion. Well, way to go. That deserves a round of applause. And Democrats have been in control, receiving that money for the past 40 years.
All right, now explain the Kentucky thing to me, and we're all set.
Because Kentucky is poor as shit. How much money do they receive? Hold on. We'll see.
Right, because that's that Republican mindset. We don't want the government telling us what to do, buying us them books. No, you need books, people. That's why you're poor and dumb, because you don't read. You read at a 3rd grade level. We're all living in like an 8th grade world minimum. Right, Mike?
Take it for granted up here sometimes, you know?
Kentucky.
Yes, that free education.
Completely different world.
Kentucky is receiving $2 billion total in ARP ESSER funds. $2 billion. Chicago gets just Chicago, 2.8.
Yeah, but at least Illinois as a state does well. Chicago, not so much. Kentucky as an entire state, poor. Every city, poor. That's the difference.
That's a choice, right? And
it is a choice.
That's a choice.
They literally want state and local government that doesn't want to give them anything, that doesn't take any taxes, but with their low wages, they stay poor and dumb. It's unbelievable.
And that's their choice, and that's what makes them happy. My point here is, what choice does that freaking high school senior have? What choice does that high school freshman have? He doesn't have a choice. He goes to these freaking poor-ass schools. They get $2.8 billion a year and learns nothing. That's my point. And it's atrocious. You know, I'm not even trying to sway this to be a Democrat-Republican thing. I'm trying to sway this as the freaking kids are suffering.
Bring up Chicago again, though.
The freaking kids are, well, how can I not, Joe? $2.8 billion a year.
Just like I can't bring up Kentucky.
$2.8 billion a year.
Yes. When you keep electing the same party over and over and over and over and over again, you don't question it. You're getting poorer and dumber. Your schools are falling apart. Your city's falling apart. You keep electing that party. You get what you voted for.
Right. People get
because they're going to keep cutting and cutting and cutting because you're not complaining. Got to hold accountable. Security.
All right, I'm sorry. We ran a little long here. We got to take a break. On the backside of this break, Mike, if you want to stick around, we'd love to have you. Please do. You're going to hear after the break what I like to call Joe's 2 minutes of crap.
I'd love to hear it.
Do you have a 401k and some savings for future retirement, but don't even know if it's enough to live off of? How much is enough? How often are you thinking about it? The team at JPEX Financial Group can help set your mind at ease. We specialize in creating strategies in the planning and managing of your financial, educational, and investment needs. We help clients pursue their investment goals with sound financial strategies. You deserve a personal, tailored plan. Lasting, meaningful, and open relationships are the foundation of our practice. You've worked hard for your money and should feel confident in your investment choices as you make decisions for your financial future. Your goals are our goals. We are dedicated to your needs and hopes for your future. Visit our website and give us a call at 860-430-5397. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Services Advisors, Inc. JPEX Financial Group, LLC is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. JPEX Financial Group is located at 78 Eastern Boulevard, Glastonbury, Connecticut.
The parent company of Cracker Jack, one of the iconic snacks of Major League Baseball, has announced Cracker Jill to the team. This is the brand's newest mascot in 125 years and will be taking the baseball field along with Sailor Jack at the start of this Major League Baseball season. Now, fans can even get their hands on one of these revamped bags by donating $5 or more to the Women's Sports Fund on crackerjill.com. Someone sounds woke, you're saying. But here's the thing. Cracker Jack's committed $200,000 to the nonprofit charity Women's Sports Fund since it was established in 1974 to encourage the involvement of women and girls in sports through research, financial aid, advocacy, and community outreach. Now, this is going to make some people angry. I get it. I never even considered Jack a person. I guess this little sailor boy is Cracker Jack or Sailor Jack. I don't know that the puppy even has a name. I get what they're doing, though. We all do. It's called marketing. This is not a comment on society. Cracker Jack isn't losing his job. He's not being replaced. He's just going to be sharing his duties with Cracker Jill. He's going to be able to get some days off. This is good news for Jack. I promise you, this is not woke left. I know this because literally nobody cares about Cracker Jacks. Other than when you're singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and let's be honest, the lyrics are ruined. That doesn't rhyme with Jill. Now, Disney's also been accused of folding to the woke left. Their last few movies had leading characters that aren't white. The horror! Listen, that's not being woke. After 100 years of solely having either white characters or talking animals in their movies, you have to admit Disney's given white people, particularly our princes and princesses, the main spotlight. Having some ethnic characters isn't being woke. For Disney, this is about securing generation after generation of minority families so that they can love their movies and watch them over and over and over again in hopes that you buy the DVD or you get some merchandise, or even better, that you plan a trip to Disney World. Don't confuse marketing with being woke.
I love that when I read it earlier, Joe. Great job. That definitely 2 minutes of crap. I loved it. I didn't know where you were going with it. I thought you were going to take a left turn onto a taboo subject that we have on this show, but you didn't, and you stayed with this whole woke theme, and I appreciated that. And I just really want to bring something to your attention before we continue here, okay? So today in the Hill newspaper, right, Disney has announced that they are no longer at their their Magic Kingdom fireworks show going to welcome everybody by saying, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls." That is no longer allowed at Disney. Now they are going to say, welcome magical friends of all ages. And why?
How inclusive. That's lovely.
Why?
Mike, that's a nice message, isn't it?
Because ladies, gentlemen,
I
boys, and
like
girls isn't inclusive enough.
So my question for you guys is that you're saying they're doing this because they're not woke. I get that. You're saying it's a marketing thing. So is Cracker Jacks actually care about women in sports, or are they just doing this for money?
Money.
But I think that they're putting the impression out there, and a lot of companies, I think, do this. I saw an ad on Twitter today from Oreo, and they had they're making a video about gay pride. Oreo Cookies is making a video about gay pride. Like, do you think that they actually care about gay pride?
Yes,
are they doing it because they care about their bottom line and they want to make money? If that's what their research is telling them that's going to get more people to buy their cookies, then that's what they're going to do, right?
Right. Here's the thing. It's not like Bob Nabisco's
I think it's all
sitting
just
there.
BS.
Bob Nabisco's not sitting there like, yeah, it's time to get woke. You know, I mean, there's a board of directors and people are like weighing the numbers, and they're like, listen, the number on gays eating the Oreos is way up. I think we gotta do this. Let's do some rainbow Oreos. Yes, when a company does this, they just want that gay money. Is straight up what it is.
Which is sad because
Barack Obama. Listen, hold on, Jimmy. Jimmy, let me make your night. Jimmy, let me make your night. Let me make your night. After his first term, Wall Street turned their back on Barack Obama because he went hard on them with regulations, and they didn't like that. So he had he needed some big time money. And it was right around that point where Joe Biden said, President Obama, he believes in gay marriage. And people were like, what? And then he came out and finally was like, yep, I do. I have positions evolved, and bam. That gay money came pouring in and helped his reelection. I'm not suggesting that Barack Obama doesn't support gay people, but he picked a very convenient time to suddenly be super woke. Do you question the motives? Of course you do, and you always should.
So Obama,
I question Elon Musk as much as I do Cracker Jack.
Right. So they can be two truths, right? There can be two things can be true at the same time, right? Joe and I can be friends. True. We can disagree on just about everything. True. Two things can be true at the same time. Disney is a friggin' woke ass joke, and they're doing it for their bottom dollar.
But see, again, I think some of that is that's your interpretation, because I see it as like,
it's
hey,
not
that's nice. It's nice that they're doing that. It'll just be more comfortable for everybody. I don't care about the woke thing. And I honestly, I don't care. Sometimes people get offended. I mean, it's life. It happens. It's not the end of the world. But to just
I like
attempt
the sound of magical friends, honestly.
I think that sounds cool.
Well,
I want to be a magical friend. I don't care about
that. I'm not saying that it's not cool, right? What I'm saying, I don't know if that's actually what it says. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what it says. Oh no, it says "Good evening, dreamers of all ages." That's what it says. Excuse me, dreamers of all ages, not magical friends. Yeah. So that's what they're going to say now. Welcome, dreamers of all ages, which, absolutely apropos, right? There's very vanilla, I think, it's just pretty bland in my opinion. But this is my point here, guys. And I want to preface this whole thing by saying I don't care and I support transgender people and I want them to be happy. I will call them by their preferred pronouns. I don't care. But if you're gay, or if you're a transgender male or female, if you're whatever, you're still a boy or a girl. Even if you want to be a trans man, you're still a boy. If you want to be a trans girl, you're still a girl. So by saying, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're really not excluding anybody, are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, trans men and trans women,
nope.
Boys and girls.
Why? See, this bothers
boys
me.
And trans girls of all ages. Why does it bother you?
Because
they're real people.
No.
Why does it bother you to say their names? Why does it bother you to acknowledge them?
I'm not saying that.
Why do you want everyone to fit in your worldview box?
You're going to actually agree with me on this.
I already do.
I don't like the term trans woman, trans man, because if you believe so much that you have to infringe on other people's beliefs that you're a man, then why not just call yourself a man? Why do you have to preface it? Why do you have to say, nope, I'm a man, but I'm a trans man? Why don't you just call yourself a man if you believe it so much? So again, you're not excluding anybody. If you believe it that much, why would you preface it?
That was nice. That's like a straw man loophole right there. I like that.
I'm being serious. I am.
No, you did.
I've said this. I
backdoored it. I love it.
Don't call it. This goes back to me being in the Marine Corps. All right. I told somebody one time that I'm just a PFC, right? Privates for a class, E1, right? I'm just a PFC. And he screamed at me. And he's like, don't ever let me hear you say that again. You are not just anything. You are a private first class in the United States Marine Corps, less than 1% of the United States population, blah, 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 right? And he taught me about prefacing. Don't preface things if you believe it, right, Joe? Like, well, I kind of believe in God. If you believe in God, you believe in God. You don't kind of believe in God. You know what I'm saying? Why preface it? If you believe that strongly that you're a man, born a woman, call yourself a man. Don't call yourself a transgender man, because now you're just cheapening it, in my opinion.
Mike, is it possible? Is it possible that Jimmy is more woke than the wokest woke people? Is he on to something with that? That's a decent line of reasoning.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. I have been consistent as gravity. You want to do what you want to do, fine.
No, I think you're
just be happy.
But...
I don't care. Just be happy. That's all I want you to do. But your happiness shouldn't infringe upon mine and others. Period.
Can you just address
the comments are saying, Jimmy, stop treading on the vocabulary of the LGBTQ community. He said, I identify as a dog. Does that upset you?
So I can put you down? Why would you want that? Because I have the right to put you down there, Sketchy. That's not cool, brother. I can put my dog down whenever I want. There's no law against that.
Mike Vick would disagree with that.
I could put my dog down at a veterinarian's office.
Right. Yes. Okay. Yes. That. Definitely do that.
And if we want to go down this transgender road again, if we really want, I don't
Who's
want.
asking? Who's asking?
So if we want to stick with Disney, here's the thing. Disney employs 190,000 people. That's 200,000. We'll just round up, right? 200,000 people are employed by this one company. 1% signed a petition. 1% of the company signed a petition about standing up to the new bill in Florida.
Right, because 96% don't care.
That's right.
Nothing.
That's right.
Not for nothing. Who works at Disney? It's not like people who were like, political science aspirations or anything like that.
Well, hold on. I'm not just
hold on. If your
ESPN
goal
is owned by Disney,
if your goal is to work at Disneyland, you probably saw Bambi one too many times.
Dude, do you have any idea how many people want to work at Disney? Honestly,
yes, I do.
Millions and millions and millions of people apply.
Yeah,
right. This is what bothers me.
People are obsessed with Disney. I get
right.
That.
Oh my God,
that's
we
that
can talk about that
personality thing. Right, dude. I know people who have tattoos of Disney on their bodies, and I'm like,
I got
I don't know,
tramp
man.
stamp of Tinkerbell. I lost a bet. I lost a bet, and I got a tramp stamp on Tinkerbell. I'm just joking.
It's funny that we all believe that.
You did believe me too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, look.
If that's not woke, I don't know what is.
That's super woke. I love that.
Kowtowing to a 1%.
It's not kowtowing to a 1%. It's 1% that's like, hey, we should do this. And the other 99% being like, we don't really care at all. Do whatever. That's fine. Again, that's to just say something a little bit different than we used to. Again, this is the war on Christmas. Happy holidays. I don't want to say that. It's stupid. What's the difference?
So now
what's
we're going back.
Difference?
Now we're going back to, I can remember
about sounding more inclusive.
I remember
it's intelligent and proper.
That said words matter, right? When he was talking about the president at the time. I'm not going to mention any Biden Trump names, right? But Joe Biden came out and said words matter, and then started changing definitions day one.
Joe Biden changed definitions.
His administration, but the buck stops there, started changing definition of terms. So, and then goes on and has all these gaffes, and then says, no, I'm fine, everything's good. But, words don't matter with Joe Biden, only with Donald Trump. God dang it, I'm sorry, guys. Words don't matter with Democrats, only with Republicans. I don't understand it. And now you're
it's probably the words that you're using.
And now you're saying
not
that boys,
thinking anything about.
No. And now you're saying, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that include every single
How about you say hi, everybody? Welcome to Disney. Again,
bad? What? Why? I don't understand why.
Why is it so important to you that they say ladies and gentlemen?
It's not.
Why do you care so much?
It's not important to me. But
it is, though. You've been talking about it for like 20 minutes.
We're talking about
you saying to you.
You're saying that Disney isn't woke, and I'm saying they are. And I'm saying they're
They're trying to be more polite. Again, dude, it's like if you see a person in a yarmulke and you're like, Merry Christmas. You can say Happy Hanukkah.
I love how it's okay to be polite, right? I love how
I always say Merry Christmas. Right? I don't want to say Hanukkah. That's stupid.
That's cool.
No.
They just want to be polite.
No.
They just want to be polite, yet misinformation. Right,
why make anybody feel uncomfortable if you don't have to?
Let's say they are woke. Why do you care?
Why is it? I honestly don't care. This was Joe's
hate
bit.
the liberal agenda.
This was Joe's bit.
It's going to make everybody gay.
I am fighting Joe's bit. Number one, I don't care. If you want to say, as long as they didn't say, welcome people of all genders, right? Because there's only two freaking genders, guys. Right? I don't understand that.
That's another discussion.
I don't understand this. How in the world can this be a discussion? There's how many chromosomes in the human body? 132, I think it was.
Can't get into this right now.
Two of them, no, I can. Two of them make up gender. That's it. Two. Whether you cut off your penis, give yourself a boob job, those two chromosomes, no matter what, are still there. That's called science, right? So if we're going to follow the science, that's science. Now, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not discriminating against anybody. Like I said, go be happy. Be happy. Do whatever you want. I don't care. But don't tell me that there's more than two genders. This is the problem I have with this. There's two chromosomes in a human body. No matter what you do to that human body, those two chromosomes never, ever, ever change. Ever. So don't tell me there's more than two. Period. I will follow the science, guys. I will. You guys can go imagine that there's 75 different genders and all that crap. Go right ahead. But I'm
honestly
will follow the
confused
science
by the whole thing at this point.
So, but Disney, in my opinion, honestly, I can't afford to go to Disneyland with all my kids.
I've never been. I'm not going to go because they're woke, and I didn't go before because they weren't. I'm not interested in meeting. I'm not interested in meeting Disney characters. I don't know why. I'm just not. That's me, though.
Yeah, I don't want to say this because I don't want to offend anybody, and I try my hardest not to, but I might. Disney adults bug me. I don't know.
It's like being a furry.
It's weird, man.
Oh my god.
I'm not a fan of that either.
Yeah, you know what? My kids love Disney. And Joe, I'm sure your kids do. They like watching Disney movies. The new Encanto is my kid's favorite.
Love that movie.
But they're kids. You don't see me getting tattoos of it. You don't see me putting bumper stickers on my car, buying a million figurines. But I just can't stand that for some reason. I don't know. That's just me. I hope I didn't offend anybody. But by all means, if that's what you want to do, be happy.
Mike is furious right now. He's looking at his Disney princess collection to his left.
Yeah, right over there.
He's like, I spent a lot of money on these things.
He's got all the guy dolls, all the white male princes.
Yeah, dude, there's never been a Disney prince who wasn't a white guy. I guess Aladdin, maybe.
Yeah. Technically, he wasn't a prince. So
there you go. He was a street
rat. I'm gonna have to check.
He was a brown man from the streets.
Joe, I'm gonna have to check this. No. This might even make it worse. I don't think there has been a minority princess. There's been minority main characters, but only the princesses has been white. I still believe. I'll check on that and get back to you, but it has been a great hour and 15 minutes. Mike, I really appreciate you stopping by. I hope you can do it again sometime. There was
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come on. We definitely enjoyed you coming on and speaking with us tonight. I thank you to all our listeners out there. Thank you to our sponsors. For Joe Aguirre, I am Jim Battisti saying God bless. Stay well.